What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Dent Digest live show on this happy Thursday. And I need to give a shout out to my daughter. It's her 6th birthday today.
That's awesome.
So, you know, in this Corona life that we've got here, you know, it's been fun. It was actually kind of cool because my wife had a company come out and put happy birthday in the yard, like these stand-up signs, and it was kind of a cool day. I took today off and just kind of chilled, and we put balloons in a room. So last night I sat up for a couple hours, you know, blowing balloons up. You know, I wake up this morning, I'm all hoarse, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I was blowing balloons for like 2 hours, actually. I can't even feel my lips." So, but it was a good time, you know. So we beat the balloons around all day. So it was a good time. But you guys, huh? What was that?
How is she turn?
She is 6. That's me getting older. She's not getting older. It's me getting older. So you guys see I have Manny on, Mr. Reaper, Gray Duck Dent Repair. So we've got kind of a unique show this week. I kind of wanted to bring you guys on and kind of go over a little bit of the MTE and kind of get into that a little bit. Get into some tools that we have. I don't know if Mr. Reaper has some tools available.
We got a little something.
And later on, halfway through the show, we have another guest coming on, and we're going to get into an event that is going on tomorrow, which sounds actually, it's pretty cool. It's a really, I'll tell you, I reached out and I said, man, that is such a good idea for this contest that they are running. So we'll get into that later. So how are you guys feeling with no MTE this year?
Kind of lost, like
depressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to cut you off, Manny, but I got so much to say on this. I miss hanging out with guys. I miss hanging out with the guys. I just want to go to the bar, have a cocktail or two.
You
been happening
having 2 cocktails? Come on.
Yeah, you know, it's so hard. And Vegas was so much fun last year.
It was.
And man, it hurts deep down in my soul.
Vegas was fun.
Yeah. So
it was different. It was very different. But it was the first time I saw Manny drinking a beer.
Well, PDR World Cup was pretty fun too.
Oh, that was amazing.
I didn't go.
We're missing that event too, but yeah, MTE for sure. Primarily, you know, missing it this year.
Yeah, it was different, but it was fun. You know what I mean? It was a good event.
Yeah. It's just, you know, surprisingly though, I felt like Vegas last year was, you know, it was still missing, you know, a bunch of people, but I thought it was awesome, man. I mean, take a bunch of guys out to Vegas, you know.
Yeah, it was.
And it was perfect that they kept us off like the main strip too, right?
It was, and I'll tell you, there were a lot of people that really stayed there. You know, stayed at that little area and ate and did some stuff. But you know, I went to a party. I know Vadim was there. Ray Sapnew's wife's birthday, and they had this suite on, I swear, on the top of the world, and you could feel the jet stream through where we were.
Amazing.
Oh,
were you there when they were doing the paper airplanes?
Yes.
I heard about it.
We don't want to talk about that because we may get in trouble with the FAA.
Yes. Well, international airspace. Yeah, those things disappeared. I swear they went a mile at least.
Yeah, they put holes in people's roofs.
Yo, shout out. Let's shout out to Danny, man. Shout outs to Danny. Look at Jack, Greg.
Good old Bucknell, Reed.
Jeff.
Oh,
Adam.
Buck Jack Nell, as I called him in Vegas.
We ended up having a very rare drink while we were there. It's called the Buzz Button.
Oh yeah.
I almost think it like made part of my brain go away.
Well, blame that on what you will. I don't think it was the buzz button. It was probably a combination of everything. But yeah,
what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
That was mouth numbing and mind numbing. So
it was
a good time for sure.
So, Manny, what is your most memorable time in Vegas? Man. Since we didn't go to Orlando, right? Vegas was your first one? No, I met you in Orlando 2 years ago.
Come on, right? Come on.
Right? Yeah.
I've been to Orlando 3 times, and then I missed it in January last year, and then that's how I ended up in Vegas. And then that's why I ended up going to PBR World Cup too, because I didn't make it to.
Well, that's because you became the champion, right?
Oh yeah, I was trying to keep my
the crown.
The crown, baby. Man, Vegas.
Most memorable part, besides winning the championship, because you know.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was being together with some of the how can I say it? With some of the real top-notch technicians. I'm not saying that it's not the same at MTE. Like there's a lot of good techs in Orlando, but Vegas, I just think that it brought in everyone who's 100% committed, and being in the competition, everyone that normally walks around the competition in Vegas, it's all like guests, it's just guests. I think Vegas, everyone who was around the competition was a real tech, like a good technicians, I want to say, or like good people, or like, I don't know. So I think Vegas, to me, my favorite part is just, just having some of the best techs in there. I don't know if that makes sense, but and like John said, just being able to hang out with everyone, man.
Yeah.
I think that to anyone that hasn't gone to MTE, that's the part where you're really, really missing out. I mean, a lot of times we think it's just like, what am I going to talk with another dent guy? But that's the thing. You'd be surprised in how many conversations you could get into, and
from tools to techniques to marketing to whatever. We're all in such similar boats, and just the smallest nuances you have insights that I wouldn't have, and vice versa, and it's just
Vadim, what's your one
priceless.
Memorable part?
Man, I mean, you already talked about it. It was Sap News Party up in the. That was so just crazy cool. I mean,
yeah,
I was up there talking with Kevin Andrews and Sam Donovan from TDN. Kevin
he's terrified of heights.
He could not go out on the balcony.
He's terrified of heights, but he takes a 14-hour flight to MTE. You know what I mean? It's the craziest thing ever.
Yeah, but there's just so many moments there with Jay Gearhart in the wind with his hair, and doing the Titanic bit. Just so many laughs there. I couldn't count them all. Just and the buzz button thing, just everything, man. It was so cool.
Yeah, my buddy Josh came with me, and he's not a dent guy. He's like a designer for Polk Audio, and he was like, and me and him have been to a lot of SEMA shows together, stayed in a lot of the same hotels or even same rooms, and he was like, man, this is the craziest thing I've ever been to. I'm like, what do you mean? You've been to a CES, you've been to SEMA with the car guys, and he's like, no, this is a total different group of people that completely understand each other and you guys literally talk dents for 4 days straight. And I was like, yeah, that's what we do. It's okay.
It is what it is.
I think mine, I'll be honest with you, and it's not because you're on here, Manny. I was very happy when you won the award. That was kind of cool. I remember coming up, giving you a hug, and it was just special because you had a lot of competition. and we've talked for quite a while and just watching you grow and taking that chance. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, that was the biggest part. Is just that to me, every tech who competed was really, like good techs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I think the dents were worse in Vegas than they were in Orlando.
Yeah.
I heard that a lot. Times
3. Imagine that. That crease is sharp. That door dent is sharp. And that roof rail, I mean, any roof rail, it's always going to be tricky, Yeah, man. I mean, it's just, man, MTE for sure. We're missing it.
Yeah, if you're not going in your tech and you're like, I don't need to go. The marketing, I mean, I'm not the marketing, but the networking is priceless. And you know what else it is? Perfect example. You get to have real conversations with the manufacturers, with Maria, with Mark Blem, with, Chris White, the people that you order from all throughout the year. You get to put a real face. You see them on social media and you see them talking on the phone, and you get to really spend some time. And then you realize these people actually care. It isn't just, okay, we're making money on this. This is our job. No, they actually care. We're super lucky. And I swear I say this every show, that in our industry, we're very lucky because the manufacturers step up. So if there's an issue with a tool or something happens or something gets misplaced, it's taken care of.
What's his name? Lee from Eliminate. I mean, you think that company's top notch? Wait till you meet him in person.
Yeah.
He just takes it to a whole different level. And then you really, I'll tell you a story at the MTE in Orlando. This was about 3 years ago. One of my portable lights, the glue gun, it stopped working, So I ended up trying another glue gun, like the Snap-on. And when I went to MTE, I was telling him about it, not knowing that was,
Oh, you didn't even know it was him?
No, I didn't. And then I was telling him, I'm like, look, I bought this light from Ultra, and I tried to talk to them, but they told me something, and then he's just like, which gun is it? I said, oh, the one, this and that. He's like, wait 1 second. He grabs the box, man. He says, here. Ryan, I wasn't even buying the tool. I mean, I was just talking to him. And I'm sitting here with a box of a brand new glue gun, and everyone else is making line to buy their tools. And I'm just like, did this just happen? Like, did he just took care of me like that?
Oh, yeah.
It's not the part that he just got, to give him brand new glue gun. It's just the responsibility of serving your clients 100%.
Yep.
And and I was just blown away, man. I walked away, and I think I came back, and it's just like, how can I thank this guy? He made me feel like $1 million bucks, man. What's that? But you know what I'm saying? Just like, man, he made me really feel,
appreciated.
And that's the thing, what you were saying, Ryan. Just like, you don't really, when you go to MTA, you really meet and shake hands with these people. You really get to know, And that's the thing about MTE, man. It's getting to meet everyone in person. It's just, there's nothing like it.
I'll tell you another story about James Lee. So I had an issue with a pretty much brand new version 3 auto cup. Just never stuck on the car. So an MTE comes over. He's like, take this, mail me the other one back. I was like, okay. He's like, and then I'm going to mail it back to you. And I'm like, what? You just gave me a free light. And he's like, look, dude, you bought 1 million lights from me. You're hard on lights. I know it. Just take it as a backup. So I had 3 or 4 lights that were older lights. I literally have 6 Eliminate lights sitting here. And I sent all of them back. It was 5 lights I sent back for repair, like a switch was bad, or it just needed overhaul or whatever. His guy Mike called me and said, because what I was trying to do was take the original base without the auto cup with the new head, because I really like how you can adjust the lens on that new head. And he's like, man, we'd really have to make a harness for this. You know, he's like, you're really recreating everything. It doesn't really work. And I'm like, okay. He's like, but let me update this other one with the new LEDs that are brighter. I'm like, okay. 3 days later, in my door, I call James. I'm like, hey. He's like, hey. And that guy is really hard to get on the phone. And he's like, what's up? And I said, are you going to send me a bill for this? And he's like, what do you mean? I said, you fixed 5 lights and gave me a free auto cup light. And he's like, should I hang up on you right now? And I was like, what? I was like, dude, I got to do something, you know? And he's like, nope. I said, okay.
Yeah.
So
and the other thing, a Stanliner makes sure that if you buy a tool, you have to know, like they make sure that the tool that they sell you is the one that you need. Like they don't just sell you tools, just like, oh yeah, get this one. It's just like, no. What do you need? You know,
and Cliff are
amazing
at that.
Cliff are
And same thing, but you don't get that unless you're at NT in person, talking directly to this guy.
Just being able to hold and feel all of those different tools.
Feel all of the reapers.
I mean, you can. But seriously, though, I mean, you just get such a better idea of. I mean, you can scroll through endless product pages on a website, and you can watch every review out there. I would recommend checking out the reviews at RPS Dent Specialist YouTube page. But seriously, I mean, all of those things are good and helpful, but nothing replaces holding a tool in your hand and being able to feel it and understand how you're going to use it. I mean, there's no way to replace that.
Chris Dale says John definitely likes holding and feeling things, and that's very true.
Yes, and I miss you too, Chris. I mean, and I met him at MTE. So
I have to tell you another thing that I'm super. It kind of hit me blindsided. I think John Vidine is the first guy out there that had a guy tattoo his tool on his arm, which is pretty cool.
That pops up on Instagram today.
Really?
The guy out of Iran. He's from Iran, and I had to watch the story like 6 times because I couldn't believe it. I was like, really? Is this even real? I don't even know. I don't even know how to respond to that. Like, what do you even say? Irfan Nayastani. Irfan Nayastani. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that, but
that's pretty crazy, right?
What do you? I can't. Wow. So yeah, we're gonna try to get him a something. I mean, right?
Yeah.
I have to send him something. So we're working on that. But
well, that's cool, man. How does that make you feel, John?
Look at his face.
It's so crazy. I don't even know, man. Like, I feel like now I gotta do it or something. Like,
you don't. That's right. You don't even have a tattoo of your own stuff. You'd have to get.
I have 0 tattoos.
You'd have to get the Reaper and then a little A1 end in there, which would be a perfect mix.
Yeah.
Come to Baltimore, we'll get it hooked up right. You get a little gang tattoo across the back too while you're in there.
Maybe Dent Life across my chest.
We could do it. We could do it. Taken care of.
Yeah.
Let's count it.
Maybe we'll design a whole PDR sleeve. I mean,
look at that.
Go big or go home.
You know, that's the other cool thing about MTE is that the nationalities that you see, it's everyone from around the world.
Yeah.
You know, you see people from Iran, overseas, you know, just all over the world, man. It's just that's what's cool. You know?
Yeah, who are those guys from Japan? They make almost every MTE.
Oh, the Tri-State boys. Yeah.
Yeah. Those guys are cool.
They're
super respectful too. Like you shake hands with them, just like, man, they're so happy to meet you. It's just like
Yep. Yeah, those guys are awesome.
And you know what's crazy is how social media has brought us all together. So like those guys I've never met before, and they're like, "Oh, Ryan," and I'm like, "Talking to me?"
Yeah.
You know. So, you know, it's I don't know, it's pretty cool, you know. And like Danny says, he's like, "You're totally missing out if you don't go." You know, you need to go. And it's not even like even the education day. You know, I've got a couple years in, and even the education day, you still get something from it.
Oh yeah, always valuable information. I mean, you know, one app, even understanding and knowing that one new app that you didn't know existed, now you know it exists, and you know how to better put yourself out there, or you know, you learn one new trick on Mobile Tech RX, or you know, whatever your software of choice is. I mean,
even if you're not a drinker, you need to go out at night.
Dinner delivered.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if we were sitting in the sports book having a couple. I think we just finished a round of shots, and then Hudson Tansey walked in with an ice cream cone.
Yeah,
and you know, we might have razzed him a little bit, but nobody cares. It's not.
No.
We're not there to drink. We're just there to hang out. Okay, I am there to drink, but everybody else is just there to hang out.
You have a drunk John and you have a sober John. There's not much difference. You get a hair higher in the voice, a little louder.
Yeah, volume goes up.
You smoke way more than you
Oh
do.
yeah, that's a problem.
You know.
It's like that Bud Light commercial, right? It's like, I'm just here for the Bud Light.
We get a Coors Light, please. So we got an event going on tomorrow that I hope a lot of people know about, you know. And John and Maria from A1 Tools is putting together that VTE, which, like I said earlier in the show, which the little contest they're putting together is absolutely, it was brilliant. It was an absolute great idea that no one's done. And what I think it really did was it took some of these guys that didn't quite know how to approach some of the manufacturers with some ideas. This opened the door. You know what I mean? And I hope they had a lot of people that reached out and submitted some ideas, because any of those ideas help us all the time. I mean, look at the Reaper.
Yeah. Shucks. I mean, that idea is super, super exciting.
Ooh, what up?
Yep. S. Gotta love that dude. But I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what it is.
It's exciting. I'm super
I've
excited.
talked to a couple of guys that had some ideas, and I hope they submitted, and I hope you know who you are, and I hope they win. So we'll see. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was more than one of those ideas that end up coming to market. So
yeah, it was a great idea. As soon as I saw it, I looked at Shane and I was like, they nailed it. They nailed it, because it was such a good idea, you know. And you know what it does? There's crappy times out there throughout the world. The good thing is, it seems like everybody's somewhat busy, you know. Like Bruce was in here, says he's crazy busy, and I'll tell you, we've had a great year from when we reopened, and which is mind-boggling, you know, for what's going on, the uncertainty, and you know, it's good to bring things like this, because MTE people were looking forward to, and now it was kind of taken away, and this was kind of like it's a great idea. So
yeah.
I've got them coming on next. Let me get them in here and kind of go over the event and kind of ramp it up for tomorrow, and see what we can do.
Shout out to
all awesome
in here, man. Hey, Glen.
Oh, there we are. We're back. What's going on, guys?
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey, John. Hi, Maria.
John, Maria, good to see you.
Ryan.
What's going on? So you guys ready for tomorrow?
We've had a hard day. We hope so. we did a run through late in the day today and decided we didn't have enough bandwidth. So we are changing locations to get to more bandwidth because we would not be pleased with any pixelation and whatever. We need to try to do it right. So it's I'm glad we did the run through.
That's cool.
So how did you guys come up with this idea? Let's start with that.
Well, we were just kind of bumming that we weren't going to do the show this year, and also PDR World Cup was called off, and so that was taken out of the equation. And we said, we really got some neat stuff, and we've got stuff that we rep for other people that we would like to put out there. And we had an idea, and actually the first person that we called was John Vte Dent. Yeah, and said, John, what do you think? You think we could do this? And within 45 minutes, he developed the logo for it and sent it back. And so, thank you, John.
Yes, thank you.
Pleasure on mine. It was a great idea, and as soon as you said it, the wheels started spinning, and it was it had to happen.
And I'll tell you the contest, and I'm sure you guys could hear me. I don't know if you could hear me backstage or not. And that contest was such a great idea. It really was. And like I said, it kind of opened the doors for a lot of guys that they didn't know how to approach it.
Yeah, and I tell you what, we've got probably 10 or 11 entries, and I'm telling you, every one of them could be brought to market. And we are going to bring more than the winner to market, but some of the things that were given to us, I'm not saying it's rocket science, but it was more than we could pull off in a couple, 3 days to actually make. And so the winners we're actually bringing, to market tomorrow with the contest. But there's going to be some other stuff that comes out of this. And we've already talked to several of them and have several more that we want to talk to as well. About bringing these things that they've brought to us out there, because I really think they have benefit to the PDR industry.
That's super cool. Did you guys look at them and you're like, okay, this makes sense? Was it some stuff that clicked immediately, or give us a little bit of a hint there?
There was one that was really unusual, and I wouldn't know how to pull it off, and I think it would have application. So we may work on that in the future, but I don't know. It's just a lot of good stuff. And, John and I were talking today, actually, and sometimes a very small tweak to a tool that's already out there in the market is a huge difference in what that tool can do. Fat baby. Mm-hmm. And, I know everybody's really sensitive to who's developed what and this and the other, and I think that's a good thing. But sometimes little tweaks make all the difference in the world. And so, anyway, I don't think what we're going to bring as a winner tomorrow is probably a revolutionary type of thing, but I don't know of anything else quite like it either. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of reception it gets. And I know the guy was really excited to submit it. And he's told me already, hey, it's my go-to tool. I use it every day. And so we'll see tomorrow.
Is this one that you guys had made for him custom and he's been using for a while, or what?
No. And you guys are getting me too far into this.
No, all right. We'll put the curtain back
up. Watching the show anyway, John. We're good.
It's the pre-party. It's the pre-party.
Oh, it's just the four of us. Okay. Well, he actually made the tool himself and has been using it for years. But I think he started with something else and did a pretty significant modification to it.
Man, I can't wait to see it. Can you show it right now?
Look at Mandy's really pushing the elevator tonight.
Hey, is there a pre-order button, a blind purchase button on the website?
That's another.
We should have thought of
that.
Yeah, we should have thought of that.
So, what time does this thing start, and how can people find it? And
just it's going to be high noon. 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, just like Tuesday Tool Day. And so, but it's going to be tomorrow, Friday. It's going to be short and sweet, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And there's going to be a lot of chances to win, a lot of tools, a lot of neat stuff. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, Facebook.
Yep, live on Facebook.
Yeah.
Live on Facebook. So you'll go to the A1 Tool Facebook page, and then, you can set an alarm, set up a notification, and then at 12 when we go on, and I'm hoping for 12 o'clock sharp, we will go live. And it's a little bit of a Vegas, theme. So we've got a special Vegas guest that might make an appearance, and we've got like an illusionist that's going to come. And oh, looky there, John's got some playing cards.
Guys,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a joker. Let's be honest.
We love you, John. That's awesome. Those are hot.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'll have some of these to give away. So
Yes.
Yeah. And speaking of the giveaways, we've got more stuff to give away than I think we've ever taken to any type of trade show. So,
Yeah.
and I got to give credit to a lot of the vendors that have given us stuff and so forth to do that with and to promote. So, if you get anything, you're going to get a free hat, and you're going to be put in a lot of different drawings. And you could walk away with some pretty significant stuff beyond things that you really need. So that's exciting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
very exciting. And I didn't realize you guys had a specific VTE hat.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
We do.
So I have
That's
to have
right.
that.
I know. You place your order while supplies last.
Yeah, John, if you're within the first 100 customers, then you'll get a free hat. But
Again,
right.
I would
Otherwise,
push the blind purchase on the winning tool. I'll push that button if it exists.
yeah.
I see that. See Maria working on.
The best thing is definitely to put the reminder right now on your alarm for tomorrow.
I know.
Any
That's
text
right.
law change, put it on your alarm right now, guys.
That's
right
right,
now.
Manny. Yes. Thank you, Manny. Yes, that's right. Get in your alarm.
Good idea.
Put your phone out. And 12 o'clock, VTE. It's going to be great.
Alarm.
Yeah, I was talking to Peter from VIP yesterday, and
Yes.
he was he sounded pretty beat up. He had like an allergic reaction to what was it, a gerbil or something. So yeah, he's probably pissed because I'm telling people that right now. But yeah, he was like he when I talked to him, and he's been away. He's been in Colorado doing hail, and we talked for a little while, and he's like, yeah, it's such a great idea. They're just nobody else is doing anything, and so it was for you guys.
It'll be fun. Yeah. It'll be fun.
I gotta say thank you guys for doing it, because without any of these events going on, it kind of feels like we're lonely. Like it's just sad. But thank you guys for doing it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And I was thinking too, right now out in the world, and this is beyond probably where you want to go with this show, Ryan, but out in the world, there's so much us versus them type stuff going on. And I tell you what, I'm proud of our industry. We've got great people in it. And, even the people that we compete with heavily in the tool sales type thing, we need those people.
Yeah.
This industry needs everybody. And I tell you what, I think we all do a very good job of getting along and pushing this thing forward.
Bada baby cry, John.
Still a growing
Bada
thing.
baby cry.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. You're very right in how it seemed like, for one, I can't imagine how this year would have been without the great hail year that we've had.
Yes.
Would have been a little bit of a difference. So we're very blessed with that end of it. And it seems like everybody's been really upbeat. So it's been really nice with the really crappy stuff that's going on in the world right now, how upbeat everything has been. So in our industry, at least, I see it differently. I'm in a lot of body shops and it's a total different thing there. But in our industry, it just seems like it's still going in the right direction. So
I actually
Well,
stopped going to one of my dealer accounts because they have this
Weird vibe.
interesting viewpoint and take on the way they're handling the whole COVID situation. And I don't want to play that game. So I'm not gonna.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so many people are just charging forward. And you know what? Auto repair in Minnesota is essential, and I repair autos. So I'm going as hard as I can. And half the time I get to the door of whatever gas station or restaurant I'm going to for lunch or what, I have to turn around and go get my mask because I forget. So, I mean, and there's so many people just charging forward and doing the best that we can with what we have. And I love it all. I love it all. And hopefully when we come out on the other side of this, it's going to be even better. So.
Yeah, well, I think some things have really been advanced. And, I've talked to a lot of guys early this year, technicians, they wanted to work.
Yeah.
They couldn't get adjusters to write cars.
Yeah.
There's companies weren't releasing them to go out there. And so, a lot of the back and forth, phones and pictures and so forth. And so I think in some ways it's pushed this thing forward a little bit. And I think it will help us down the road to be more efficient in how we interact, at least in that regard. So not all bad. And it has been a great hail year.
One thing I have learned is how uneducated the insurance adjusters are on what we do. Just because everything's over the phone now, and they're like, "You want how much to fix this?" Or "You can fix that." They just don't know, And now that they're not out there looking and dealing one-on-one with you, now they're over the phone or FaceTime or whatever. It's a little more challenging, but I think that industry is going to change. I think a lot of the adjusters are not going to go back on the road, and a lot of stuff's going to be happening from a desk. So we're going to have to figure out how to make that work for in our world. And I just think a lot of that stuff's going to change. Some of it's going to be for the better. Some of it's going to be a little more of a challenge, but
I think us technicians too, man. I think that it's going to push us to even be better technicians because we have enough time right now to, if you have a job, you have all the time in the world to just make sure that job is 110%. Not just like your normal time where you're just like pushing one after the other. I think that it's really going to push us technicians to even be better. So that when we do come out, it's just like.
Absolutely. And yeah, and to Ryan's point, I've had some way off interesting situations with adjusters as of late. I had one. All right. Somebody's got the ponies rolling.
Hey, it's
anyway.
It's that Minnesota ponies.
I had one adjuster, $2,000 he cut my estimate by.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, travelers, by the way. And they didn't come out, they didn't look at it. I have no recourse for arguing. Maybe not any recourse. I don't know. We're looking into it. But also, State Farm just approved one of my estimates, $9.02 above what I submitted. First time ever. Above what I submitted, $9.02. That's that'll buy you
Positive
a beer
Thursday.
just about anywhere you go. So
John's buying a beer at the next MTV.
Here we go. Thank you, State Farm. All right,
so how long do you expect your event to go?
Well, we're hoping that we're going to wrap all of this up in about a half hour. And as I said, there are a lot of contests, there are drawings, and none of that actually begins until 12:30. At the earliest, 12:30, because we really want people to be able to watch the event and not feel like they have to rush to the computer, or maybe they're using their computer to watch the event. And so that will give everybody a level playing field. And so most of the contests and so forth, they will be conducted just by internet orders. So
Virtual.
if there's any timing or that type of aspect, then we will do that certainly by the internet orders that we get. So from about 12 to 12:30, the event will last, and then it's all opened up.
It's game time.
Well, 2 people are going to win a tool from Dent Reaper.
Woo!
Oh, look at Maria's got the hat.
Look at
Oh
that.
my goodness!
That's real
This is
cool.
gonna be a good
You're not
one.
going to be doing the can tomorrow, are you?
Oh, I don't think they'll let me.
But 2 people are going to win a Dent Reaper tool tomorrow.
Woo!
Any
Nice.
single tool from Dent Reaper, and all you have to do, I'm going to put a post up on Instagram, and all you have to do is pick a card, any card.
Ooh,
Just-
I love it.
Submit either 2 of clubs, maybe you want to submit 3 of hearts. Just put your card in the comments, and the first one who has the right card is going to win
Oh, I love it.
any single
That's
tool from
fantastic.
dentreaper.com. Yeah. So
Yes.
I will I'll pull those out of the deck tomorrow during the show. But
And whoever wins the first Dent Reaper, I'm going to throw in some glue into that order.
Ooh.
Oh, what? Hold up.
So-
I want to put something in too.
a salad.
All right.
Woo! Yes.
I'm excited for this.
Stakes are
I
high.
wanted to put something
Stakes are high.
But yeah, I'm glad you guys are doing the event. I'm actually really excited to see these tool inventions. So
That is so exciting. Yeah. That is
it's going to be.
Well, I did. Yeah, I wish I could have brought you more because we just had about 2 days here because we actually wanted to do the bill as well. And so anyway, I wish we could have built more of them. But it's been a crazy week. And like I said, we're going to be bringing more of what they brought to us here in the near future.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. I wanted to kind of get the word out on what the event was and let everybody know and try to drive some people over there.
I could see
Thank
it.
you, Ryan.
Yes, thank you so much.
I could see it in John's face and Maria's face that you guys are like excited for tomorrow. It's just like you guys can't wait.
It's going to be fun. Yes.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you coming on and make sure you guys go to that at 12 tomorrow. It should be pretty cool. I'm super
Alarms.
excited.
Right.
Set your alarms.
Thank
Set
you,
your
Manny.
alarms.
Yes.
I set mine for
Yeah.
11:59.
Woo!
I'm going to be
Oh.
early.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Thank you.
So
Ryan.
thank you
Yes,
guys.
thank
You
you
guys
so
have a great
much.
evening.
You too.
See ya. Bye-bye.
How do you
Look at that.
compete with that hat? Maria is.
Yeah, I know.
That's cool. That is cool.
It should be fun, man. I really think I talked to Maria the other day and she's like, I can't believe nobody else is having anything.
I
And I'm
know.
like, me neither, but hey, make the best of what you got. Let's make it a good
Hey,
one.
you know what, Ryan? Maybe they're going to set the bar.
They
that,
are.
We got to take care of our people, our PDR techs, and maybe everyone else is going to follow,
And
I'm sure other folks will follow suit.
yeah.
And
And
yeah,
I'll tell
hopefully
you,
so.
when
I'd
I was
like
talking to
see-
Peter, he said that he's selling tools. He's doing really well selling tools, but it's different than it is every year. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. It isn't anything real big. It isn't a whole lot of big orders. It's a lot of one knockdown or one tip or two tips so. I think a lot of that's with just the uncertainty going on out there. And some of the hail guys are so busy, they don't have a whole lot of time. The way they're getting some of these tools is a tool vans that come around. So I don't know.
Yeah, I could speak to that. Obviously A1 carries the Reaper, and I would say a good portion of my sales have come from them going out and using their van. And it's the same thing. Like I always say, when you can hold a tool in your hand,
Yeah.
that's what's going to sell it. And I don't know a way to do that, but we just got to keep on pushing. But
I did bring some tools on today that we didn't do earlier, so we'll do them. We're doing it in reverse show
order.
mode. So I'm gonna bring mine on. I got mine.
By the way, before you show that, Ryan, I wanted to bring this picture back from MT.
Look at that. Look at those guys.
I was like 2
Mr.
years,
PDR,
like,
Jesse.
what, 3-4 years ago.
Yeah. Chris, Steve.
It's hard to see, but
is that at Carib?
Yes.
you know,
can
what
tell by the
was,
carpet,
Going way
couldn't you?
back.
you know what was cool is that we were all in that same room. I think what was that class that we were all in? I think it was a Kiko class that we were all in.
Yeah.
And it was fun because everyone came out, and then it's just like we all saw each other. We're just like, oh, yeah.
And we've never really met. You know what I mean? We were all kind of like we're Facebook friends. You know what I mean? So,
yes. And we're just like, yeah, we got to get this picture. It was awesome time, man. Oh, Danny was there too.
yeah, Danny. And I mean, I talk to Joey, Mr. PDR, all the time. He sent me a message yesterday. He goes, we may be getting hail over there. I'm like, no, we're good. We don't need any. We're good right here. So,
Hiley, what up?
I did bring
Shout outs to John. John's in the house.
Yeah,
Oh
John.
yeah, Q, my boy. My
Heavenly
boy
Hail
Q. I
Repair.
saw Michael J. Yeah.
Michael J is in the house.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that
drinking a Surly Grapefruit Supreme.
Sponsored by
Refreshing stuff.
State Farm. Sponsored by
It's a
State Farm.
Minnesota beer. Yes. Sponsored by State Farm. My $9.02 went to good use. Thank you. Like a
So
good
what I'm bringing
neighbor.
on, I think it's called the Riddler hatch hanger from Anson. I know A1 is selling it too. I'm a big roof guy. You know, I fix more roofs, I think, than anybody in the country. Not hail related, like usually people jumping on related. And I have every hanger out there. I have the Endeavor hanger. I have the Carbon Tech hanger. All the hatch hangers you can get. And everything I had, I'm just a little guy over here. I got these little arms. You know, I got like Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. And the hangers always were too far in. They were always too far in the car, and they swung around too much. So I bought this thing, and how fantastic this thing is for me. You know, I probably have had it for 2 weeks, and I've used it on 4 or 5 cars. It doesn't really move around a whole lot. It gives you a good surface. It's adjustable here, so you can move it, move this bar three things. My only complaint on this whole thing, I love this tool, is the rusted bolts on the very end, the Northeast. But besides that, I can get over it because this thing is freaking awesome and it's priced right. So you guys can get it at Anson. A1 started carrying it just recently. So
What
it
does
is
that run for?
I think it's 179,
Yeah.
175. It's a fantastic tool.
Very similar to this. I just got this one, and I've only used it
The Endeavor. Yeah.
twice. Yeah, the Endeavor one.
I like that
And,
one because it collapses.
Yeah. Yeah, you can stretch it all the way out.
Yeah.
Does it really hold strong like when
Yeah.
you stretch it? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
because
things-
the bar goes, several
Oh, yeah.
more inches in. You're not going to get wider than that.
Right.
I mean, that thing is, I don't know what that is, over 4 feet or just about.
Yeah.
But
That
yeah, I like that. I like this one. And now you're going to make me buy a Riddler because it looks faster.
I just like it because it's closer into the, from the hatch. With that, you're a little farther in. Granted, sometimes you have to move them farther
Sometimes
in.
you
with
want
the
to
right
be,
lever.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy. Very great. It was a great purchase. No complaints besides the rusty bolts, Craig. And it's not a big deal. I'm just being picky.
He didn't have no more bolts left to make it that one.
If that's the only thing I can complain about tonight, we're doing fantastic.
Hey man, rust is an issue on a lot of tools.
It is.
Man.
It is. And it's funny, like Chad from Endeavor, I did a review. Oh, it was a review on his rod. And he watched the video and he called me the next day and he goes, "You've got a package in the mail. It'll be there by Tuesday." I'm like, what is it? It's those replacement bolts for your rusty bolts. And I was like, it really wasn't a big deal. You know what I mean? It was not a big deal. So
Did he send you stainless or
He
galvanized?
did. He
or-
sent me, I think it was stainless. He liked the look of the black bolt,
Yeah.
but the silver bolt didn't, change. And the crazy thing in our business, and I'm sure John and Maria can understand this, is the temperature and the environment is different in Missouri, California, Maryland, to Texas. So it's almost impossible to make a tool unless it's stainless. You know what I mean?
Yeah, unless it's stainless. And the spring steel is
Different.
it's just so much stronger. It
Yeah.
really, really is. And I mean, you have to decide when you're putting a tool out if strength is more important than beauty. I mean,
Yeah.
do you want Shaq or Shakira? Like, which one is more important to you?
100%.
And sometimes Shakira doesn't trade. Trust me.
But you will take Shaq.
If you want to slam dunk, you're gonna need Shaq.
Look at that. Danny says put some fluid film on that. See?
Yeah. I use.
And if I rub that
Neverdol.
with oil, the rust will go away. It isn't like it's rusted like the
Yeah.
Titanic. I mean, I have some tools over here that are rusted from the Titanic, but yeah, I was just being picky.
Yeah. Well, speaking of rust, let's talk about the Mini Reapers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, these things just came out, and it is what it is. But to get this small a diameter, this strong,
With the
you got to use spring steel. So that's what I did, and is this tool a little bit self-serving? I mean, for me to talk about right now?
No,
Yeah,
not at all.
yes, it is.
Why?
But I like it.
I got a question. Does that come standard handle and a ratchet handle, or is it all just ratchet?
Yeah. You can get the ratchets or standard. If you're a Hale guy, I would recommend the ratchets. You can put these into hoods, and there's sometimes your hood tools. I mean, we've all been there. Sometimes you got 7, 8 different tools to get to that one dent, and this is just another option in the arsenal. And I've been loving it up through the little plug in
handle
hole, and all kinds of little
pick that up
spots.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Get
myself
yourself,
a hat.
What's the price on those?
$199 on the ratchets. You get a set of 3, 15, 11, and 7 inches.
Oh, look at that little one.
This little guy. Ooh, daddy.
Oh, man.
This little guy will save your life up in the front of a hood or something like that. I used it a couple times on a Silverado hood today, and
Spending my money.
up on the front. But yeah. So that's my admittedly biased review. Enjoy with whatever type of salt you like.
That little one
is what
looks promising. I may have to
I
buy
mean, yeah,
one.
look at that thing.
I mean, honestly, I like that spring steel thing
Yeah.
because, the steel in these tools, you don't really, it plays a big part.
And to be honest with you, even with the little bit of rust on there, I hit them with a Scotch-Brite and then oil, and they're fine.
Yep. And I did not pre-treat these with Neverdol as I normally do, because I was so I got them in the mail, and I threw the box in my truck and opened them when I got to my job for the day, because I was so excited to get them.
What's the price point on those, John?
$199 on the ratchets, $149 on the fixed handles.
For all of them, it's the same
For
price.
all 3,
right?
yep.
Oh, it's a full
set
set?
of 3. Yep, set of 3. They're not sold separately on my website. A1 may have them separately. I'd have to double check with John,
No.
but I think it's a set.
Yeah. And that's still
All of a set.
a fair deal for the price point. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yep,
super. That's
And like I
great.
say, it's spring steel. It is what it is. But if you want the strength out of that smaller diameter,
There's nothing better.
sometimes, yeah.
What do you got,
So-
Manny?
Yes, sir.
You gotta get them.
I just used it.
You gotta get them. I mean, you get these two. Sometimes you use this one. Sometimes you use just this one. But both of them, quality tools. I've been using them with the, with the original like thread holes that it comes with. And what I love doing is putting this on the tail light pocket, at least one of them in one of those screws, and just put the other one like in the middle, just kind of just holding on to the lower edge. And man, it's solid. This thing won't move. Like it's solid. So if you don't have this tool, you better take advantage of that. A1 thing going on tomorrow. Because,
get it tomorrow from A1. Get yourself a free hat.
I just want to mention, a lot of the times we get taken away by like the price. It's just like, oh, I'm not going to spend so much for that simple tool. I can just use the hook. Listen, don't let the money, thing just. This is worth it 100%. It will make your life easier, and it's just you can't beat it.
And I'll tell you, go ahead.
When I first saw that thing, I thought it was highly priced too. But when you consider the machining it takes to put all of those threaded holes, every time they got to run a drill through and then tap that hole, and then and he didn't pull any punches, and he didn't try to do anything differently to help make it cheaper. He built it the way it should be built, and it's a little bit expensive for you're looking at two rectangles with some holes in it. Big deal. But the machining is where your money is at.
Yep. Yeah, the profit on that tool is not as much as you think. I don't disagree
with you. I just know. No, it's not. It's not.
Shout out to
profit on any tools, probably not as much as you think.
Shout out to Michael J. Michael J. put me to this tool. He put it one day on the headlight pocket, I think, of the truck, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta get that."
So
I gotta get that.
I got a tech tip for that thing.
I've used mine many, many times.
Make yourself a little baggie with some 10mm bolts, some a couple different like sizes. I did a Honda Pilot the other day in the fender, nasty Colorado hail, and stuck the small one up inside the corner in the fender where the cal is. Use the factory bolt, okay, and then put the larger one on its side and mounted it again. I couldn't have fixed it without it.
Wow.
And Shane looked at me and he was like, "What are you doing?" It's kind of like an erector set. You're making it work. Yeah. But I actually used it also on a Volkswagen Bug quarter. So when you take the taillight out of that Volkswagen Bug, it's this massive opening that just has a fender liner on the underside, and there's nowhere to pry off of. So that thing went in, I bolted the big rectangle in and then bolted the smaller one kind of standing up. It's a fantastic tool. It really is. I mean,
every time I use it, it's just like I get blown away. Like, I'm like, dude.
I did this on a Porsche fender. So, I mean, there's so many options. You can see I had to put my big fat mushroom dent craft tip to get that far end to be stabilized. And
here's my bug.
I had to tee them up.
It's a fantastic tool, man. It's
genius idea.
I was explaining to Shane, and Shane's fairly new to the paintless dent repair world, and I got a K-bar the other day from Kiko, and I'm kind of late to the game with that. And this year I've really focused on my glue pulling. And I had a car that a body shop sent me a picture. It was a Honda Civic on the quarter, and the taillight was sticking out a little bit, and the lower bumper edge was in. And I looked at it, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, it was far in. The taillight's pocket's in if the taillight's sticking out a little bit. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. And they're like, really? I was like, yeah, I'll come over and do it tomorrow. So I get there, and I hook up the K-bar, and I'm pulling it and just getting this thing and just walk the whole thing out. I literally pulled it with centipedes 4 times, the whole dent. And it was a larger kind of sucked in dent because that edge was in, and pulled that thing out. And I looked at Shane and said, that just paid for this tool. And it was a job that I would have passed on because it was so kind of gnarly. And it took me about 15 minutes. And he's like, I said, that's how you have to think in this game. If it's, like me, do I need a Carbon Tech hood stand? No, I don't need it. I'm not a hail guy. Since I've bought it, the way I bet you it cuts an hour to 2 hours off every hood or trunk or door that I take off now with that. And that's priceless. That's priceless. So
yeah. Well, same with, I got one of those D stands.
Oh yeah.
The light stand that folds up. I mean, to have a hail light with me that sets up that quick everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing.
Time is money.
Exactly.
Time is money. Yep.
And I mean, we've all been, I just posted a video the other day. When you don't have the right tool for the job, and there is just every tool you have spread out across in my case was the parking lot, whatever it is, it's just, but if you have 100 tools laid out there and number 101 gets you the perfect leverage,
yes,
it's worth it. It's just, I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah, I mean, when you find the right push, the right angle, everything, the right leverage, it's so worth it.
Now, you guys, I just had this problem. I just kind of went through my truck. I've got my truck kind of loaded up right now. Have you ever emptied out some tools? You're like, I haven't used this in a while. It's a tool you haven't used. And you pull it out. The next day you go to a job and you're like, man, if I would have had that tool.
Why isn't this on my truck? Yeah. Yeah.
Terrible things, man. Terrible.
Dude, I've put tools away, and maybe it's just because it's fresh in my mind, but I've got a backup drawer right here where there's all kinds of different whatever's in here. And I got tools on this wall that are whatever, that are not on my truck. And I swear to you, if I take one tool out of my truck and hang it on that wall, the next day I'll be like, why?
It's the same problem. If I don't load these up the next day, I'm like, Shane, where's this? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I did the show last night. It's on the wall.
That's, it's funny because that was the hardest part about when I started and when I opened up the shop. The people were like, oh, maybe you could just do 2-3 days on the road and the rest at the shop. What started happening is that a lot of my tools that I had in my van, I started laying out in the shop. And then I was driving and that one tool I needed, like you guys were saying, that's at the shop. So it just got to the point, just like, forget it. I'm not even going to go out there because chances are of me needing the tool, it's going to be in the shop. And it's just like,
what do you got?
No, we were talking about old tools, and it was funny to me is that this tool with this like round tip.
Oh yeah.
I bought
this from
Ultra. I bought this at Ultra for, I want to say like 4 years ago, and the first time I used it, I pinched something. It was like in my early years, I pinched it. So I put this tool away, and I'm like, never again I'm going to use that tool. Forget that tool. Yesterday I was doing a job, and I was just like, but that tool may just work, So it came out of the pile of like my don't like it section tools, And man, it's funny how a tool that I have not used in like 3-4 years, all of a sudden became my like perfect tool,
Don't forget the vintage tools. That's a new hashtag.
I used it on a Toyota Tundra, the rear door on where the hinge screws go. Right in the middle, there's a hole, and I just put that in there, and there was a dent like right at that body line, and it was just like perfect. It was just like tick, 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 done. Just like, I love you again, buddy. It's like,
and we're back.
You're back into the
back into the circle of trust.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
So, what do you got going on next, Mr. Vidine?
Oh, snap. So, as I was saying, I miss hanging out with the guys. So, after this, in virtual tech expo fashion, I'm going to have a virtual happy hour on the Dent Reaper page. I use the same setup you got here with StreamYard, and I'm going to post the link, and whoever wants to join in will join in. I'm sure there'll be constraints on the number of guys we can have in there and such, but I just want to have a beer. I just want to have a beer. I want it to be MTE, and I know we got to do it through this stupid screen, but
at least
we can have a beer. Somebody's out there having a beer. I saw Hidrogo. I guarantee you he's got a Coors Light.
He started drinking at 9 this morning. Hey, I can say one thing about that guy. He does some crazy Instagram stories, but he is a hard worker. I look in the morning. You know, I'm up at 5 in the morning, and that dude is a couple hours behind me, and he's already at work.
Busting his butt.
And
he's got more give a damn in his pinky finger than most people have in their entire business. He really does care. And like, if you saw when the city screwed up his sidewalk, you know, like, he just wants things done right. I can so appreciate it. And I'm like, when he was so mad at the city, I was yelling at my phone, like, yeah, get him. Just like, do the job right. And
it's nice to see him evolve too.
Oh yeah. Wow.
He's like a turtle out of his shell now. Now he's kind of like getting out and like just stretching his legs. And I remember he was actually my number 3 show that I had on Dent Digest last year. And he, just watching that, he was so nervous, you know, like just nervous talking in the microphone. And now he's like,
well, meeting him at MTE was, you know, and I find that a lot. There's some other guys I could mention too that are larger than life on camera. They're just like so awesome to watch and fun to see how they do things. And you meet them in person and they're kind of like, hey, tone it down a notch. But getting to know him over the last couple of years has been super cool.
He's real cool, man.
Yeah. We talked.
He lays it out, you know.
Yeah.
I get excited when he's, talking, when clients come in and just like, something crazy going on, like trying to cut him, to do fraud or anything like that. And he's like,
illegal kickbacks.
No, sir. No.
Is it Willie or is it Wiley? So I love that dude. He just,
he did name his mannequin John, and that kind of, I don't know, rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
you know what?
I feel like I'm a little bit more animated than a mannequin.
You got to give him a Reaper shirt.
Hey, you don't know though. Maybe he already has
I did send him some banners.
He already has a tattoo, maybe.
Oh, well, maybe. Yeah, maybe he's next. Or are you next, Manny? I see you got a little sleeve going there. There's got to be room for the Reaper somewhere on there.
There's too many hairs. I don't think there's.
He's like, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
I was gonna say there's too many hair. I don't think there's space in here. What's been fun with this hot weather I don't know if it's been happening to you guys. Just working on the cars, you're sweating, and it's just like it goes all over the car. You just have to keep wiping that thing, just like all over and over. Has that been happening to you guys?
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh my gosh, it's 94 degrees. It's so hot. It's 102 here with 100% humidity all the time. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you got to
get used to it. But let me tell you, in the wintertime, you'll hear me cry because I'm like, oh, it's cold. John's out there in a parka with
you
like
don't know cold.
Oh, it's so terrible.
You don't know cold. I one time fixed a dent while a White Walker watched.
What is a White Walker?
Game of Thrones. You never seen Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay.
Go
Well,
put that sound effect.
you're one of 7 people in America who haven't seen Game of Thrones. Or maybe I'm just a nerd. I don't know.
Guys,
Maybe a little bit of both.
I did want her to show off though.
Oh,
The best.
I got it.
What's in there?
So the other week he was saying how he wanted the best hammer.
John,
You were on
I'll
the
tell
show.
you, man.
Yeah. I remember. I want to see the hammer. I don't give it.
It's something
I mean,
else.
the box is cool. Show me the hammer.
Show me the hammer. But then it's really hard to open up this thing.
Yeah. Well, it's already second best.
Put it in the mail and send it to me. I'll show you how.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, is it the flat one? Does it have the magnet? Oh, no. I know which one that is. Is that titanium?
It almost looks like the other hammers that the other companies have. But this one just
But that one's the best.
This is the best. Look, this is my first hammer with this style of head. I don't know. I got to tell you guys, I've been using this basically almost every day now. And it's something different, man. It's the way it moves metal is just, it's another level. So I finally got it. Shout out to Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. Kyle, man.
Kyle Sweeter.
He hooked
I'm gonna save my jokes on that one for the happy hour on my Facebook page.
And I'm going to announce it right now. I'm going to fully announce it next month. We are going to have the same group of guys that we had the live tool review and have a hammer show. So if any of you guys are interested
all
in
hammers all the time.
All hammers. And we're going to talk about them. So it should be a good show. It seemed like I actually had a lot of people reach out and said different ideas for different shows. And 3 people said the hammer show. So we're doing a hammer show.
Hammer show. Yeah.
Hammer time.
Hammer time.
So anybody,
Yeah.
the first person that orders the Dent Reapers off his website tomorrow.
Ooh.
What time, John? When are you starting that? When are you doing the
12:30 after VTE? Any orders starting after VTE? So 12:30.
So 12:30.
Steinliner in the house.
Throwing in free glue with that first person for the giveaway for John.
Yeah, and I've got many of these packs of cards. So the first 6 get a deck of cards.
All right.
Nice.
12:30. That's it.
12 o'clock.
John,
Go to A1.
This is like MTE in Vegas where you gotta huddle like all the guys that are with you. Just like, hey, we're going to the bar down there. We're going.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, meet me at the sports book at the Facebook Dent Reaper page, and we're gonna have maybe a little more whiskey, maybe some more beer, maybe we're gonna have some more fun. Who knows? But everybody.
Let's go. Ryan, you go.
The Dent Digest bar is closing, so we have to move to the Dent Reaper bar.
So go get yourself set up. I'm going to cut you loose, John. Get your stuff rocking and rolling. Send out those links, and I'll see you shortly.
Boom. Thanks, brother.
See you there, John.
So
it almost feels like MTE. I'm telling you, when you
it
start
does kind of. It does.
Move everyone around.
Make sure you guys go to A1 tomorrow at 12. I'll post some more tomorrow on it. and try to get a good group of people over there. I really think it's going to be. I'm excited. I said to my wife, we were talking about it at dinner today, and I said, "What a great idea with the tool design contest." It was whoever thought of that out of you two killed it. Whoever the brilliant mind over there at A1 said, "We're going to do this."
That's
so
awesome, man, that they're doing that.
You know, I think it's a good fill in for what we have going on. So 12 o'clock, A1's Facebook page. Make sure you go over there.
Put it on your alarm. Put it on your alarm.
Manny, thank you for joining me again. And like I said,
Thanks for having me.
You'll keep coming on. Keeping it going.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
But you guys have a great night. Join us on the Dent Reaper page. Happy hour. It should be it'll probably get a little more real than my show too. So
it's gonna go to like 5 in the morning.
Not me. But I appreciate you guys watching. It's been a lot of fun tonight. I'm glad we could get some explanation out there on what's going on with the VTE. Keep it real.
Keep it real.
I will see you guys next week. Wash your damn hands. See you guys.
And a mask.